Tuesdays at 2 o'clock, we go live and we give you about 30 minutes of new technologies, new products, new features, new things that are happening in the industry. Today's show is all about PTZ cameras, why you should have them, how they work, when to use them, and how they can make your productions a whole lot better. So here we go with the first slide. What is a PTZ camera? We've got a bunch of them over here for you to see. PTZ cameras are cameras that can save you from having to put someone on the camera. They work remotely. It's pan, tilt, and zoom. It's an affordable way to add multiple camera angles quickly to any live production. When and where should we use a PTZ camera? When a camera operator is not available, when space is really limited, because you can put them on a corner, you can mount them on a wall, you can put them on a tripod and a post, to increase production options, which creates the quality of your production, because when you can use multiple cameras, it makes your show look better. So, you know, coming in on this camera, this is the zoom camera we go, that's a PTZ camera that we have from NewTek that we're using for that camera, and here it is on me, and then when I cut back to the main shot, now all of a sudden, you know, the show looks that much better. It's good for sports, boardrooms, house of worship, and more. And we're going to go into those different verticals of where these cameras work best. All right. One of the things that really takes your PTZ camera to a whole nother level is when you mix it with NDI. And we say PTZ plus NDI equals success. Let's go why. You're going to get a single Ethernet cable that's going to deliver video from the camera to the mixer. You're going to get mixer control of the camera, so from the mixer you can pan, zoom, tilt the cameras. You're going to get tally on some PTZ cameras. You're going to get power over Ethernet, which means from that single camera you don't have to plug it into the wall anymore. The Ethernet's going to power it. And then also, any computer on the network can see the PTZ cam image with free NDI tools. So PTZ cameras are a great way to really let you get, you know, some great stuff. So we've got a bunch of PTZ cameras that we sell from several vendors. So let's cut to that camera down on those and we'll show them to you. All right. And here we go, just so you know, this is the new BirdDog P200. This is the NDX from NewTek. We've got the PTZOptics, and then we've got this one from Epiphan. So cool cameras that do the job and get the job done. And we're going to be going into the cameras and their pricing in more detail. But first I want to talk about where you can use a camera and how to use a camera. So the first thing we're going to talk about is houses of worship. It's perfect when you have limited volunteer resources. So, you know, we know in worship a lot of times the person who works the show, it's hard to get people. You don't always have a budget, you know, to pay a professional production staff, so it's mainly volunteers. So by having a PTZ camera, that's one less volunteer you need. And also, they blend into the room anywhere. So it's not like there's this big camera that everyone sees. You can mount the PTZ camera on the side, on a wall, or on the top of a side by where the, on the back of the room and zoom forward. In fact, that's where a 30x zoom really comes in handy if you've got a big church, because you can zoom all the way in, let's say, on the preacher, but then you can also get the wide shot that includes the choir and everyone else and even the crowd. So let's roll a little videotape that talks about using PTZOptics PTZ cameras in houses of worship.
We've got two PTZOptics cameras. I'll show you one on the wall over here and then another one in the front. We have a joystick controller and we're helping to make the entire church streaming system easy to use for volunteers. The church uses a lot of volunteers during their Sunday services, and we're going to be looking at all of that. So let's come in and take a look. This is the PTZOptics 20X camera model. This is controlled via a joystick controller that's included with the PTZ producer kit. And I want to take you guys over here. So as you can see on the left and right, we have two displays. These are like overflow displays so that the folks sitting on the left and right hand pews can really see the camera feeds or the PowerPoint presentations. You see we have the PowerPoint presentations up here. Secondary camera up here. This is a 12x PTZOptics camera.
Okay, that was a great job by Paul over at PTZOptics talking about how to rig a church for PTZ cameras. Let's talk about another vertical, sports. This is really good for adding multiple cameras to always capture the action. You know, you can put a PTZ camera behind each hockey goal, between each net in basketball. You can put one in the middle of a tennis court, go left, go right on who you're going to do, and you can easily create presets to capture the action. Now in a sporting event, it's going to take a very skilled technician to be able to follow a sports play remotely. We're not talking about that. But you can have different cut angles on it. So you can have one camera mounted in the center of the playing field, and then have certain presets that show you, all the way up the goal line, the middle of the field, what have you, and use those presets to automate your show so that you have another cameraman, once again, without a cameraman. It's a PTZ camera. It works automatically for you. So let's roll a video we have on PTZ cameras.
The camera allows the broadcast club to remotely control the pan, tilt, and zoom locations using an IP joystick. Using the NewTech NDI, the club is able to remotely manage everything, and the athletics director could not be happier. So you're able to, if I'm understanding you correctly, kind of take the footage that's been taken,
correct,
and you're actually sending it to the students and kind of providing notes and guidance.
Yep.
And so it's kind of like the flipped classroom, if you will,
yes,
the blended learning, where they can take these videos home,
yes,
and kind of study them,
yep,
and you're providing that guidance of additional notes.
100%. From when I used to play years ago, we never had footage of ourselves. So, we would have to take footage, like I was also a softball player, so they would take footage of us swinging and then show us what we need to improve on.
All right, that's a great example of using PTZ cameras with sports. So now let's talk about another place where PTZ cameras are super popular, and that's education. By education, it includes some of the biggest universities around and local elementary, junior high, high schools. It's a very useful thing. You can use it in your boardrooms, you can use it in your theaters, you can use it in your auditoriums, you can use it for your sports, you can use it for lecture room to enable distance learning. You can even mount them out on the field if you're going to be doing sports out on the field. But PTZ cameras, incredibly versatile when used in education. Once again, this is a situation where, yeah, I know in education you want the students to get behind the cameras to be able to use the cameras, but there's certain locations that really lend themselves to a PTZ camera as being more efficient, especially when you're limited for space on where you can mount the camera and when you're doing live lectures. So let's roll a little video now about the use of PTZ cameras in education.
Hi, my name is Gary Sanangel. I'm a Distance Education Operations Specialist at the Keck School of Medicine, and this is my studio, the Soto Studio, right here in Los Angeles.
Interview on the PTZ Optics NDI camera, which I understand usually is out in the field. You
Yes.
actually send this out and plug it in over NDI across campus, right?
Right, absolutely. So yeah, so this little guy and small little rig and tripod will record without anybody there, and I am here at my control room doing the recording. So it's
Not sure what
amazing.
this
All through the
video is that
internet,
we're seeing
all through
right now.
NDI.
All right, we're back. Great use of PTZ cameras in education. Now we're going to talk about other applications that are out there for using a PTZ camera. And there's a whole bunch of them. Government, great for using it in town meetings, courtrooms, community outreach, public records and archiving, enterprise, corporate boardrooms, investor meetings, training, intercompany communications, healthcare, telemedicine, video recording, training, research and archiving, and staff meetings. Guys, there are a ton of different places that you can use a PTZ camera. We're just giving you an outline of some of the places where the most common, what we call them verticals, where people use them. But any place that you have a cameraman that is a little too tight on space, that you can't get the camera in, or sometimes when you want to just be able to run a production with less human beings involved in the production, that's where a PTZ camera can really make a lot of cool things possible. So you're not limited to just the things we're showing here. PTZ cameras are incredibly versatile. They have different focal lengths as far as zooms go, 10, 20, 30x. They have different motions, different features. We're going to go into those cameras shortly, but I just want to make sure you understand we're giving you an overview of ideas where you can use PTZ cameras here, but there's far more than we've gone into on this list. Who makes PTZ cameras? Well, folks, there's a lot of great PTZ cameras out there. We sell PTZ cameras from PTZ Optics, NewTech, BirdDog, Epiphan, and Huddlecam, but there's other people that make PTZ cameras too. Panasonic makes PTZ cameras in their NDI. Sony just released an NDI PTZ camera. Lumens, Vadio, Marshall has some NDI PTZ cameras, and Data Video has PTZ cameras too, but we're going to focus now on the brands that we sell, obviously, because they're the brands that we sell. All right. We have PTZ Optics are available in models with 3 different zooms. We can take this full space, you can see everything about it. So they have USB, HDMI out, SDI and HDMI out, and then NDI, HX, SDI, and HDMI out. 3 different flavors. Each one's available in 12x, 20x, or 30x zoom, white or gray. We basically have the HDMI starting at $16.99, the SDI starting at $15.99, and the NDIs with SDI and HDMI, all 3 outputs, $19.99. Next we have NewTek. NewTek makes their NDI HX camera. Very good PTZ camera, normally $24.99. That camera's on special for $21.99. What makes that camera so special? Well, native support for 1080p 60 is one thing, but it's also integrated tally, and let's face it, guys, NewTek makes NDI, NewTek makes the TriCaster. There's a little home field advantage there if you're working with a TriCaster system, but at $21.99, it's a great deal. Next, in stock, the BirdDog P200, and actually it's a lie, this is the only one we have in stock, and it's our demo unit for use here, but we have more units rolling to us today. We got our first shipment in. The price on the unit is $27.99 because it is affected by the tariffs, but that unit has full NDI. We just did a little pre-show about it, so you can watch that video, find out all the reasons why it's a cool product, but it's got professional Sony optics in it. It's also got a level of mechanics in it that make it a little bit smoother when it pans and tilts. Really love the camera. We'll be getting more in next week, like I said. They have a full line of cameras from BirdDog. So there's the P100, which will be $15.99, the P200, $27.99. Then they have outdoor all-weather cameras. That's what the A is for. The A200 is $52.99, and the A300 is $74.99. Once again, the P200 is the only unit that's shipping from BirdDog, but the other units will be shipping shortly. But before we go into any other units, I want to talk about what's happened to BirdDog and the reality, and that is a lot of the components that are in PTZ cameras and a lot of PTZ cameras themselves are made in China. And with these tariffs, they're getting affected. Now, some brands are getting affected more than others based on how much inventory they were able to bring into the States before the tariffs went into effect, and just how much Chinese content is in the cameras. So it varies. The folks over at BirdDog got hit pretty hard. So far, NewTek's doing okay, so is PTZ Optics, but that could change very quickly with these tariffs, folks. So what I'm saying is, if you've got the budget for it and you're thinking about getting one in the next few months, I would buy it, because it looks like things are only going to get worse with this Chinese tariff war before it gets better. All right, I want to go give you a tech tip now, and quite honestly, I'm going to say that I think we hurt ourselves this show for not following these tech tips. So let me go through them and explain what happened to us. First of all, don't mix NDI HX and full NDI cameras. Folks, that's what we were doing because we wanted to have the BirdDog camera over here take a picture of the NewTek NDI HX camera, and we wanted to get them working together so we could show each camera together. And what we forgot was one's full NDI, the other is regular NDI HX. Ended up actually creating a critical fault that crashed our TriCaster when we were doing the demo. We were able to get everything back up to speed, but that's why the show was delayed. So guys, I'm telling you, do not mix NDI HX and full NDI hardware cameras, encoders. It will be a nightmare. We just lived through it, and it ended up having to reboot the entire TriCaster. Next, limit the NDI HX devices on your workflow for reliable use. Now this one is one that we've learned through experience as well, and that is you want to put 1, 2, 3 NDI HX cameras up there at the same time. 1, 2, 3 NDI cameras of any kind, be converters with the Sparks, NDI HX, or PTZ camera. When you go over 3, what happens is you put a lot of pressure on the computer that's running the show. A TriCaster's computer, whether you're running vMix, Wirecast, OBS, puts pressure on just the resources that machine has, doing the decode and the encode of the NDI HX footage. So what happens is you lose stability, you lose reliability, and your show could be affected by it. So 1, 2, or 3 NDI HX cameras, great, no problem. More than that, then you got to switch over and go with full NDI, because full NDI doesn't have the decode problems that you have with NDI HX. What you run into with full NDI, however, is it eats a lot more bandwidth. So you can get 3 or 4 full NDI units going on a single Ethernet cable, but if you're going to go with more than that, then you're going to have to run more than 2 network cables into your TriCaster or video mixer of whatever you're doing. Use 2 ports, and then you can get even more devices in there. Full NDI, once again, no pressure on the computer to decode, but you can run into some bandwidth. So I'm just going to review these tech tips again, if we can bring them up full page, because I think they're really important. And that is, don't mix and match NDI-HX with full NDI cameras or sources. Limit your NDI-X devices to 2 or 3 for your workflow for the most reliable use. And understand that when you're going with full NDI, you will potentially run into bandwidth issues on your network. All right, thanks for loading those tech tips. I think they were very useful, very important part of the show. We're going to go back now and go to some other cameras. This next camera is an NDI, but it's a great price, and that's the Lumio 12X PTZ camera from Epiphan. It's a 3G, SDI, DVI, and HDMI camera, 12X optical zoom, $14.99. That's the price we have for now with the inventory we have. It may be subject to tariffs. We're not sure what's going on with that unit, but for under $1,500, it's a great little unit. Next, I want to talk about 2 units from Huddlecam. Huddlecam's the brother-sister company of PTZOptics, and they're trying to bring in some cameras that have some level of automation to them. So they have 2. The Huddle View is a camera that will automatically switch between a wide angle or a zoom angle if more people come into a room. It's great for like boardrooms or worship where you're going to have like maybe multiple people come on, you know, the stage for something. We like that a lot, but really intended for boardrooms. And the other unit that's coming is the Simple Track 2, and that we're really excited about because this unit will track an individual when they walk across, which is great for lecture capture or conference recording as well. So 2 units, very excited about them. They're both shipping now. You definitely want to give them a look if you're looking for some additional level of automation for your PTZ camera beyond the remote operation that you get it as a PTZ camera. Now, next, I want to talk about PTZ Camera Control. Before we get into the camera control, let's talk about it. The PTZ cameras, through NDI or through hard wiring control like RS-232, 422, can be controlled remotely. Well, one of the things you control it remotely if you have NDI is from the actual mixing software you're using. So if you're running a TriCaster or Wirecast or vMix or OBS, you can actually control an NDI PTZ camera from the mixer. And that's super cool if you just have 1 or 2 cameras to control. However, if you're really going all in on PTZ cameras and you need a bunch and they're all going to be running into your mixer, it overwhelms the operator. It's just not fair. I couldn't do that to poor Oliver, to have him controlling 4 or 5 cameras and mixing the whole show. So in that case, what you want to get is a dedicated PTZ controller that now you can put another person in your production on the PTZ controllers, and that one person could be working 4, 5, 10 cameras, whatever you need. You have one operator for multiple cameras through the controller, and the controllers also give you easier, more accurate adjustments because they're more a tactile feel than necessarily you're going to get using it through your mixing software. So let's talk about some of the PTZ controllers we have available. How do you like that? I was supposed to bring this slide up before I got into the whole spiel. What can I tell you, folks? It's what I just told you about it, and that is you can control it from your production system. All right. First one we have is a PTZ Huddlecam HD Joystick HC Joy, $299. This is the go-to controller. Pan, tilt, zoom, variable speed control, camera 1 to 4 quick key, preset save and call, automatic recovery program from communication ports. Guys, it's for $299 if you're going to be using 3 or more PTZ cameras. It is a must-have to have a controller, and at $299, you can't go wrong with this one. There are a lot of other controllers we're going to show you that do more, but for the money to get a controller for $299, nothing touches this product. Next, PTZOptics IP Joystick, IP Joy. This one's a little more advanced. Pan, tilt, rotation, zoom, iris, focus, camera settings, preset tour buttons, absolute position, zoom operation, real-time display current status, I'm sorry, short circuit and overcurrent protection. Want to hold it up for the folks over here if we can. Here's the unit itself. Nice little unit. Here you go. Small, easy to operate. The tactile feel of this joystick is very nice. The buttons are clear and concise when you use them. Definitely a great little product, and at $649 it works IP, which means you can use network cables to connect and to control your product, your PTZ cameras. Next, what we're really excited is this is coming from BirdDog. It's not shipping yet. but it's the BirdDog PTZ controller with full NDI, with NDI. So now NDI means this controller will be able to control any other PTZ network, any other PTZ camera that's NDI on your network wherever they are. So let's say you're an educational facility that wants to put PTZ cameras in 5, 6, 10, 20, 50 lecture centers. You can get control of those from this one central controller for your control room, let's say, to control all the lectures. So you could have one person sitting in a room in the afternoon just making sure all the cameras are working correctly. And with free NDI tools, you can actually set up a multi-viewer that'll show you whatever camera is supposed to be live at that time. So the remote operation of this is really tremendous, and we're really excited about this product from BirdDog, which we're hoping will be shipping this summer. All right, that wraps up the show for today on PTZ Cameras. We're going to talk about some shows that are coming because we're real excited. Next week, I'm on vacation. The show's going to be Oliver and Adam doing tech tips with Adam and Oliver. Film streaming hacks. So all kinds of cool hacks they've learned from being on film production, other production type of stuff. I'm really excited about that one. Why am I excited about that? Because at Videoguys, we use the products we sell. And these guys know the products, they use the products, and now you'll be able to hear from them on how to make your shows better. And they're the guys to call if you have questions about these products. Give us a call at 800-323-2325, and the guys will be more than happy to get on the phone with you and talk about your budget, what you're trying to do, what products you're trying to make it work with. So, you know, we're live people who use the products, folks, and we call ourselves the video production, video editing, video streaming experts, because this is what we do. This is our business. This is what we concentrate on, and we want to let you know that you can buy with confidence from Videoguys. Okay, then, July 9th, what do we have coming up? Avid, the brand new version of Media Composer, just released on the 20th. Unfortunately, Kate was supposed to do a show that week, but things got a little crazy with her schedule and stuff like that, so she's going to be on the show on the 9th. And then on the 16th, LiveView. We're going to be pulling in someone from LiveView. They're going to talk about some new bundles that they've got cooking, and what I've been told is I can't tell you any more about the bundles other than their new bundles, so you're going to have to tune in on the 16th to find out more about that. All right, I thank you for tuning into today's show. I hope you learned a lot about PTZ cameras, what they do, why you need them, when to use them, where, and how to use them. They can help you create a much more sophisticated, engaging production by having multiple cameras without camera people. You can also use presets on your PTZ camera to give the illusion that it's in more than one place than it is. PTZ cameras are a way to go. We find that, I would say, of our customers who try to do a 3-camera shoot, more than a 2-camera shoot at this point, almost always one or more of them is a PTZ camera, just because you can't always have a film crew with you in every circumstance of 3 people to be your shooters. And the truth is that not every shot needs a live operator, but also not every shot can be a static shot from one camera that doesn't move. So with a PTZ camera, you can pan, tilt, and zoom. It makes your life wonderful. It makes your videos better. You can control it from a controller. You can control it with presets with a remote, or you can control it from your mixer. So very cool PTZ cameras. I want to thank Paul at PTZOptics and the other people who produced the videos that we used in the show, because it was really cool. And I just want to remind you, you can call 800-323-2325. We're live here. We'll help you with the products we sell. We'd love to get you any information you need on how they work. And I want to just see, I see Paul from PTZOptics was popping in on the Facebook feed talking about how so many people are asking about the Simple Track at Infocom. Yeah, we think this is going to be a hot product and a hot seller, so thanks, Paul, for the love. And guys, if you got any questions about PTZ cameras, live production, who are you going to call? Ghostbusters. No, Videoguys, 800-323-2325. Thanks for watching the show, folks. Like us on Facebook. Tell people links. Make sure people watch our shows more. We love doing these shows. We hope you can share the word and share the love so that more people can get more out of them. So, guys, this is Gary from Videoguys.com. Peace.
Videoguys is available Monday through Friday. Give us a call at 1-800-323-2325. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter and Instagram to stay connected with all of our updates. And you can like us on Facebook. Keep an eye out for our live videos, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thanks for watching.